Hey everybody out there, today for you guys we're going to be doing a deck profile or a deck update, I guess you could call it, of a deck that some of you guys, one person, one subscriber in particular, has been asking me to do a deck update of. And that is my Pyramid of Light deck, aka the Sphinx Deck. I don't call it a Sphinx Deck because for the most part it only has 4 cards for the archetype, right? It's got Thinian, the Great Sphinx, Sphinx Telea, Andral Sphinx, and Pyramid of Light, the trap card. That's all you got. It's not really an archetype, I say. That's one of the downfalls of this deck. While it is a fun and casual deck and you can take it to locals and have a lot of fun, when constructing this deck originally a couple years ago, which I've played with this deck for about 4 years now, going on 5, the problem is you just have those few cards and then you got to try to build a deck around it, which is, you have to take a lot of different engines and parts to work. And the deck functions. I personally feel like this is the best version thus far, and I've really enjoyed playing with the deck and testing it out. It does pretty good. It functions. You're going to have wins. I feel that it's actually a pretty good deck to play, and it's going to bring back a lot of nostalgic memories for you probably and whoever you play against, especially if they're an older player, because it's going to make them think of the movie, the Pyramid of Light movie, and that's why I call this deck the Pyramid of Light deck as well. So without further ado, guys, and sorry for all the rambling, let us get into today's deck profile. So first off, we run our 3 Sphinx Telea right here, and then we run our 3 Andral Sphinx. Now these are going to be your main guys that you're going to be working with to bring out. They do have some benefits, which I'll state first off. They're all level 10. Okay, that's cool because it allows us to access the train engine, which is really cool in the deck. But in addition to that, they are also light attribute, which is important because we do run a light and dark engine in the deck. Also, being level 10, it helps give you protection through the field spell Mound of the Bound Creator. Some people have tried Mystic Mind out. I was actually trying that out. Didn't have much success. Went back to Mound of the Bound Creator because that was giving me protection for my Sphinx monsters. In addition to running this, we run the 1 Thinian, the Great Sphinx. Now the reason we run Thinian, the Great Sphinx, guys, is because he is a little bit bricky. He's not a great card, and he's very hard to bring out to some extent. You pretty much have to have Andral Sphinx and Sphinx Telea on the field at the same time and have them both be destroyed at the same time. Now we do run some generically good cards in the deck that can allow you to do this. Cards like Torrential Tribute and Dark Hold, which we run in the deck, which allow you to destroy the field, destroy your opponent's monsters, as well as destroying your own to bring this guy out. You're usually just going to bring him out for fun, and if you're bringing him out, you're either in a very bad losing position or you're in a position of, I'm just trying to overkill and just show off. But when you do it, it's super fun, and it's really awesome. So yeah, you can bring it out. It's actually not that hard. It just may not be resource advantageous of you to do so, if that makes sense. So yep, that's the Sphinx monsters we run. I just wanted to explain all of them. Next up, we run 3 Apprentice Piper. This is the card that initially got me into wanting to build this deck. If you've seen my deck profiles before, you probably know how this guy works, but let me just explain it very briefly. You can have Andros or Sphinx Telea. You could have double Andros, or you could have double Sphinx Telea in your hand. Doesn't matter. You could have other monsters in your hand as well. Doesn't just matter but these two, but this is why we run it. So say Apprentice Piper, which is a flip monster, you set, correct? It's your opponent's turn. They attack Apprentice Piper. It gets flipped up. His first effect kicks off. You special summon 1 Sphinx. It resolves in grave because they went to graveyard. You bring out another Sphinx. Now you have both your Sphinxes on the field. You have to have them in hand, however. So that's why I say it works good with these guys here to bring out. In addition to that, you can also bring out other monsters as well. The cool thing is, even if you set this guy and he gets destroyed by a card effect, for example, you're still going to get a special summon off. Pretty good. So he's just a good card to help bring out bigger monsters. Apprentice Piper. Love this card. This is the initial reason why I built this deck. Hopefully one day he gets an upgraded version that will actually help this deck out a lot more, because I really like Apprentice Piper. It really helped this deck out. Next up, we run 3 Honest in the deck. Honest, you run a lot of light monsters in this deck, It's also a light attribute, which in addition to that means you could run things like BLS because you run as you see here, you run a couple more darks as well, but you also run some light and darks. You run a couple more darks like I just stated, but you run mainly lights. You could also run the Chaos Dragon, which recently came out like a year ago, which I have tried out in the deck and it does work, but I like BLS because you can do stupid plays with Honest, which you can't do with Leveneer. The Chaos Dragon Leveneer, excuse me, I think that's what it's called. Which I do have, and I have 3 of, but I decided not to run in this version of the deck because of the stupid plays I was doing with BLS. And it was just very funny, and I was like, this being a casual, fun deck, I think BLS would be a lot more fun and actually more attainable to do some combos with. So what I mean by BLS is you can bring out your BLS, Blackluster Soldier, and then you can go Honest and then attack twice, do a bunch of damage, attack twice, and sometimes do gain. It's really crazy how you can do that. But 3 Honest, you run a lot of lights. You could run Leveneer if you want to, though. I will say that. Next, we run 3 Performapal, Damage Juggler, and 2 Performer Hat Tricker. And this is something new I've added into the deck recently because Damage Juggler finally went back to 3 of. I found from playing this deck a lot, you're going to take a lot of hits. All right? You're going to get punched in the face while you're trying to get your board set up and maintain field presence. And for that reason, Damage Juggler can give you protection and also can help you create more rank 4s or link plays. He gives you protection and he's able to do that. It doesn't hurt as well that he's also a light attribute. And he can be very useful for that reason. So he has a multitude of different reasons why I like Damage Juggler in the deck. You don't have to run this engine. You can run something else. But I find it allows me to do different plays than just relying on trying to bring these big bad boys out. And that's all I'm trying to do. I have a mini rank 4 engine or a link type of engine in the deck as well. And this helps out with that. Like you could go Summoner Monk, which we run in the deck as a 2 of, bring this out, have them exceed, go into something, have them both engraved, then bring out a BLS. Makes sense? So being a light and dark, you already have a light and dark engrave set up already, which is nice. So I like this little engine. Gives you protection, gives you rank 4 playability. Is it amazing? Is it great? Is it the best thing since sliced bread? No. But does it work? Yes. I don't run Foolish Burial in the deck because this guy is good in hand as well. But you could run Foolish Burial in the deck if you wanted to send him to grave. But I like drawing him or having them in the grave through Exceed Fodder, which is nice. And then this is your searchable card, which helps you do different Exceed plays and Link plays as well. So, yep, that's where we run the little Performapal engine. It works. Next, we run 2 Summoner Monk. This is something I may cut out in the future, but I really like it because you can use Summoner Monk to bring out this, go for an Exceed play, detach, and if you have a BLS in hand or you have an Exceed play and you detach both, which you are able to do in the deck with a certain card I'm running, you can just drop a BLS out of the hand and just be like, okay, go. Just hit it. So yeah, I like the Summon Monk. You run some good spells that can become dead. So that's why Summon Monk is really useful because you can just pitch those dead spells. Yes, it's Effect Veiler. Yes, it can get hit by that and this, but it still works in the deck, and I like it. 2 BLS, not 3. 3 gets a little bit too cloggy, I'm being honest. So yeah, just 2 BLS. Helps you OTK. It's your boss beater of your deck. We also run 1 Malefic Cyber End-Dragon. This guy is important because say you have Mound of the Bound of the creator on the field, you can just special summon this bad boy out. He'll be protected. He's kind of like another pseudo boss monster for the deck that you can easily bring out. That's 4,000 attack, can't be hit. It's in addition to this, he can also be used to help go into level 10 Exceed plays as well. So yeah, that's why I run him in the deck. He can be multi-versatile, and he's a dark attribute, so it's more dark targets for you. Monster Gate. We run this. Thank you, Konami, for putting back this back to 3 of. I was thinking about it, and I'm so happy it's back now. Because what it does for the deck is it allows you to bring out some of your other monsters. Mainly, this Sphinx Deck and Andro Sphinx. So you go Monster Gate, you tribute something, you bring these bad boys out. Pretty straightforward. Or you can bring out some other monsters depending upon what you hit. with Monster Gate, but it works really well in the deck, and I'm not taking it out. And if it's dead, you can pitch it with Summoner Monk. Cool. Like, I like this card. Try it out in the deck now that it's at 3 of. Run it. It works. I love it. Yes. That's all I'm going to say. 3 Mound of the Bound and 1 Terraforming. This is your help give you protection to your big level 10 Exceed plays. You can run other field spells or cut this out completely, but I feel that the effort you put in to bring out your big monsters, you want to protect them. So that's just me. 1 Dark Hole, which helps destroy the board, and also if you have Andros and Thinian, Andros and Sphinx Deck, you can destroy both, bring out Thinian. 1 Upstart Goblin, give it a little bit of draw power, and 1 Monster Reborn because you have cards you can bring back and do different plays with. So it's Monster Reborn. 2 Pyramid of Light. 3 is too cloggy. You may think that's differently, but I'm being honest. You only really need 1 Pyramid of Light in the deck, and you have other ways of bringing out the bad boys. And it gets cloggy as a 3 of. So just 2 Pyramid of Light, not 3. Wish this was a super, by the way. But whatever. 2 TTs, Torrential Tributes. This is a way to help pretty much destroy monsters, destroy your opponent's monsters. If you have Andros and Sphinx Deck on the field, destroy both to bring out Thinian, the Great Sphinx. It's another way of doing that, and just another good trap card in general. 2 Radiant Mirror Force. You could run different cards, but this just helps me give me protection if I'm trying to set up a board or trying to do something. You could cut it for something else. But for right now, I'm just running it, and it's working out pretty well. In addition to that, I'm running 1 Skill Drain. You may say, why are you running Skill Drain? Well, you run Skill Drain in this deck. If Skill Drain comes back to 3 of, I'm running 3 Skill Drain in this deck. Because what that allows you to do is Andros Sphinx, it gets destroyed, right? Okay, so you get to, it negates its effect if it can't attack on the turn that it was summoned, and it can just beat your opponent down right away. Also, if you're running Apprentice Piper, its effect kicks off in Graveyard. So not the flip effect, but when it's destroyed and it goes to grave, that effect kicks off on Graveyard, so you'll still get to bring out something. So that's why I love Skill Drain. It's really, really, really important in the deck, and it really is helpful as a stun card. And I definitely run it in the deck at wherever amount you can run. So definitely run that for sure. Now on to the extra deck, guys. Sorry for talking so much. 1 Dark Magician Girl. 1 Super Rail Cannon Juggernaut, something I can't pronounce. 2 Dora the Explorer, Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav, and then 1 of this one, which helps you do burn damage. So if you bring out your level 10s, you can do a lot of damage and get big plays off. It's pretty easy. In addition to these, the level 10 engine, we run some level 4s. Number 41. Number 60, which this guy's pretty good to make, and you can detach both your light and dark monster, get a good effect off, set up for a BLS play. Tornado Dragon, Exciton Knight, pretty straightforward, as well as a Utopia package. Pretty straightforward. Links, All Mirage, Cerberus, Phoenix, Unicorn, and lastly, Bull Sword Dragon. Pretty straightforward. Hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Like I said, this deck is super fun to play, guys. I'm sorry I'm just a little winded on some of the plays, but some people don't understand how the deck functions, and I want to explain it to them as clearly as possible. The deck is really fun to play. It's not super competitive, I'm being honest with you, but you're going to have a lot of fun playing with it. Like I said, you could play Chaos Levineer if you wanted to in the deck, but I prefer the Black Luster Soldier because of the ability to use it with Honest, which was nice, and the fact that it does take a little bit of setup to get the lights and darks and grave. But as you see, pretty much everything in the deck except 1 card, which is Earth Attribute in the main deck, is light and dark. And you're not always going to be, I mean, I think this deck is going to become a little bit better with the updated Master Rule 4s because you can use the extra deck more. So like say you went for a rank 10 but you have an ability to go for a rank 4 that turn as well. Well, now you can be able to do it because you have an open board more. So it'll get a little bit more powerful with a couple more months of time and the new rules coming out. But it's a fun deck, guys. It's really awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling to all of you, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, and please like the video if you enjoyed it, and remember to subscribe to the channel. Good luck dueling to all of you. Take care, everybody.